Welcome to the weightlifting scoop. I got a huge crowd with me today. Got Don McCauley, James Tatum, Matt Bergeron, and Tom Sroka. So somebody say something.
We got all these people and nobody has anything to say.
James said I talk weird. So.
Yeah, Tom does talk weird.
I can barely fit Sroka in this room. It's unbelievable.
Is that a fat joke?
I don't think so.
Just a little.
You gotta talk louder than that, Tom.
Oh,
Why?
You gotta get close, Tom. Talk up.
Make love.
Don't be shy.
Make love to the microphone.
Well, so our team, we got a lot of beards, and Don has a goatee.
Except for Matt. Matt's got a baby face.
Does a goatee count as a beard?
There's some peach fuzz on Matt's face.
It took like 2 weeks to get.
I'm representing Team Clean Shaven over here, so get off me, Tom.
You need to work on your shaving skills. I think you missed a spot.
No, but does a goatee count as a beard, Tom?
No.
Hell yes, it does.
No, it does not. No, it does not count.
Anyways, you guys gotta get pumped up. This is
This is like a beard that's as old as the redwood forest. What the
No,
hell are you
you're
talking
as
about?
old as the redwood
That's what
forest, so you
I'm
don't care
saying.
about your
Well,
beard.
the beard is pretty old.
all right. So Tom's been doing Don McCauley impressions. Let's hear your best Don McCauley impression.
Come on, let me hear it.
Okay. Hold on, I gotta get this choice. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Don McCauley, and today we're gonna work on sweeping the Mikey, stay on the back half over there. Good boy. Good. Oh, nope, missed it. Get up a little more. Back on those heels. Good boy, Mikey. Sweep it. Oh, good boy.
Okay, now, Tom, do your impression.
Doesn't sound like me whatsoever.
Yeah, no, that was terrible, Tom. But good try.
Well, it sounds like a mix between maybe Arnold and
Yeah.
Don,
It's a little.
but pretty good. I mean, the actual content is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the content.
That's pretty great. That's about all I say all day. Really.
I didn't ask any of your
I don't have
opinions. So.
much more to say, really.
Well, so who you guys rooting for in the Super Bowl? We got the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday.
What is a Super Bowl?
What is a Super
Yeah,
Bowl?
who asked when was
Trevor.
the Super Bowl?
Trevor
asked last
Britton.
night when the Super
My
Bowl
God.
was.
Tom sends out a
Lose
message
your-
to the team that says,
Could lose your passport.
him and
for that.
Beth are having people over for the Super Bowl, and she's going to cook out and do some things for the team. And then Trevor says, I hate to be that guy, but when is the Super Bowl?
Yeah, we
In
made-
his defense, though, he is Canadian, or he's from Canada or whatever.
Canadian.
And,
Yes, he's from
and,
Canada.
And their Grey Cup was like 2 months
Yeah,
ago.
see,
so.
well, that's a whole other thing.
They have sports in Canada?
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
Just to be clear, he's not Canadian.
He's married into it, so it
Yeah.
Married into
he's Canadian, by like
Not
default.
yet.
Well,
They're-
So
they're
close.
about
Close.
he's not Canadian yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's not Canadian.
So he should still be held
He'd
accountable
be
to know
dual
that the Super Bowl.
citizenship. Dual citizenship.
But either way, I am going for the Seahawks because
Yeah.
my university I went to, UNCW, was the Seahawks. So it only seems appropriate that I root for the NFL team, the Seahawks.
Well, Morgan and Dean are from Seattle, so obviously they're going for the Seahawks. I personally have followed Peyton Manning's career since his Tennessee days. Been a big fan of Tennessee growing up. So I really admire his work ethic and intelligence, so I'm kind of rooting for the Broncos, but I don't know if they win. Morgan and Dean are going to be in a shit mood for the next
We
5
won't be
weeks.
with Morgan,
so.
though. She'll be at the OTC, so we don't
Yeah,
have to worry
so
about
Morgan's
it.
going to spend
Oh.
a week at the OTC, so starting on Sunday. So she won't
Let them
actually
put
be
up
here.
with her if they lose. So
Well, she'll
Wow.
be with Donovan. Isn't he like a diehard Broncos fan?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
the
that's
OTC
true.
is in Colorado Springs, so
Well, that's another
most
thing.
most of the people that live out there are going to be Broncos fans due to the fact that they live out there. And but yeah, Donovan's whole fantasy football team, Donovan Ford, is pretty much the Broncos.
How did that work out for him in the playoffs?
In the playoffs, not so good, but he did pretty good. I finished first in the regular season and last in the playoffs, but I made it to the playoffs.
I was the exact opposite.
Yeah.
I was the last one into the playoffs And never mind. I took second to Nat. I forgot about
Yeah, I was waiting for you to screw that one up.
He cheated though.
But yeah, Nat Aram won his own hook grip league, so he gets free pictures.
That doesn't seem right.
Gets free hook grip pictures. I don't know. I feel like Tom should get something because
he is sending me something.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Okay, well then that's respectable.
He just felt bad
that's
for the ass whooping I took on the second week of the championship game.
So with weightlifting, what do you guys think a better attribute would be, to be patient or impatient?
Patient.
Oh, patient.
Got to be patient. Patient.
Impatient hasn't worked for me so far, so I'm gonna go with patient. Shut up, James. Don't even say it. Whatever you're about to say, don't say it.
Yeah. No, I got nothing to say.
Jeez. James Tatum.
He gets this look in his face, like he starts to like half smile, but you can't fully see it because of the beard, and you know something not nice is about to come out of his mouth, and then he thinks about it
and decide not to say it.
Decides, yeah, not to
on
say
air.
It.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say being patient because, almost just for the fact of being able to stay in the sport. I mean, you're going to have times where it's going to take a long time to actually get around to getting better. So you just got to stick with it, put the time in, and be patient. Yeah.
So yeah, long term, I definitely agree. You have to be patient, but at the same time, there are some points in training where you have to have a sense of urgency and impatience about, hitting PRs in order to get better. Because if you're always a little too patient, you don't really have that urgency to go for it all the way.
Yeah, well, one of the best gifts, especially Olympic lifters, people that are in sports like Olympic lifting and throwing, like throwing the discus and things like that, putting the shot, as some of us have done. You've got to be able to bring yourself up and then relax in between lifts or throws, and that's a difficult thing to do, and pretty much it's unlike a lot of other sports too.
Yeah, so within the lift, you have to be patient to finish the pull, but then you have to be fast under, so you really have to go and make sure that you're doing everything. And timing is everything, timing in training and the lift itself. So timing in training, there are definitely times in training where you're preparing yourself, you're building the work capacity, and you have to be patient to be okay with not going heavy during those periods of time, or at least when you do go heavy, when you're building work capacity, maybe you're not at your best. So you have to learn, like, hey, this is expected. And that's why it's important to do a similar training program throughout your career so that you understand how your body's reacting to certain periods of training. And then during those periods of training that you prepared for and you're getting ready for a meet, I think you kind of have to change your mindset a little bit and become impatient and kind of go for it and maximize the capacity that you built and put it to use by going for it in the training sessions leading up to the meet.
Yeah,
so
I think. Go ahead.
You refuse to wait for a PR to come around. You got to make it. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, if you prepared yourself and you spent the time, like sometimes people, I don't know, if you're too patient and you're just waiting all the time and just you're like complaining, this isn't working. Well, you got to put the weight on the bar and fucking try it. Sometimes you just have to go for it. And see what happens.
Yeah, well, you've got to be, it's a difference. A loose analogy might be in boxing being a sparring partner your whole career rather than going out there and actually trying to be a champion. There's a different mindset. Guys that are sparring partners generally have careers being sparring partners because they can't turn it on that next notch up to really want to go out and grab something. And they're a different type. I think if you're going to have a career and you want to set PRs and you want to set records and you want to win championships, you've got to be able to turn it up and just let yourself go, take that big chance, and let things fly. I mean, and you got to do that. And in training, as you were saying, there are different times of the year that you're training different things. I think, and I don't know exactly how many PRs you guys keep track of, but I think it's a good idea for weightlifters to have a bunch of PRs, like not just the lifts, but the 1-rep squat, the 1-rep front squat, the 3-rep front squat, the 3-rep back squat, the 5-rep, all these other things, so that they can have a multitude of things that they can keep themselves interested in doing better in year to year. It can't always just be the lifts, because the lifts are not going to be as sharp as they can be at all times of the year.
Well, yeah, I would say for sure we all know our PRs for a wide variety of things. I mean, I definitely know my PRs for every thing that I could possibly have a PR in. And I mean, when I come into the gym, I want to do something I've never done before, whether that's a PR single, double, triple, or 10 or whatever. I mean, you know, I just want to see myself continuously improving in something. And, you know, if I didn't improve in anything, then what's the point?
Yeah, kind of gives you that motivation. So, quick test. What is your PR triple on snatch?
135.
135. Tom?
I think like 125, something like that. I don't know. It's been a very long time.
Matt?
100.
Dang.
But that's because I haven't done it.
No. Don't make it. I'm tired of people making excuses when they post it.
Hey,
What's that?
Yeah.
No excuse.
Yeah.
Fine, it's 100.
It's 100.
Yeah,
Throw it out there.
You know, I actually don't even know what mine is.
After posing,
Yeah,
I know. That's what I
you
said.
had all that time to think about it.
I should have played it
you
off.
could have made one up.
126.
There
One
you
more
go.
than Tom.
There it is. Just go one more than Tom all
Yeah.
the time.
I love that answer when we're having a competition day. It's like, James will be like, "Hey, Trevor, what are you going to snatch? Hey, Tom, what are you going to snatch?" And they're like, somewhere between there. What about you? And he's like, one more kilo than you.
No.
or
We
something
started
like
saying that to him first.
Well, that's
Yeah.
because I'd always ask people, because, I mean, I'd be over there and be like, oh, man, I don't know what I want to
You would have thought after like the third time you asking, you'd realize we don't care what you're going to do.
see. But the problem is that I still win, Tom.
You don't though. Who won last week?
Oh, Trevor.
Okay, you didn't.
Slacker.
You were like fifth. Okay. The week before that you won. The week before that you won. But before that, I was on a 3-win.
Trevor comes in as a dark horse.
He
last week.
sneaks
he
in
does.
there.
He does because he acts like he doesn't even want to be there, and then all of a sudden you look over and he snatched 140, and then he'll miss whatever his next attempt is, go up,
Well,
and then make it.
You know why? He's almost Canadian.
Almost.
That's what it is. He's sneaky like that. Yeah.
playing tricks.
Yeah.
No, I would also say Travis. Like everybody forgets that Travis is like there because Travis doesn't say anything as we're starting, and then like Travis makes sometimes he'll get in this mood and he'll make really like big jumps. Like I've seen him a couple times go straight from 70 to 120, and then from like 120 to like 135, and then from 135 to 145, and he'll get to 145 with no misses. And like when you see him do that, you're like, screw this, I'm done.
What's weird about that? You sound like normal jumps.
Not for you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let's be serious about this.
You want to talk about a quiet fellow you don't really pay attention to is Caleb.
Oh,
Who?
He's DJ Cornfed, as I like to call him now.
Caleb did a jerk recovery with 250 kilos yesterday.
What did he say to you when you showed him the video? Oh, it didn't feel that hard.
No, he said I feel it today.
Oh, yeah, but yesterday when you showed him the video, he was like, "Oh, it didn't feel that hard,"
It wasn't.
and like just walks away like nothing happened. It's cool.
That was pretty strong, supporting that amount of weight.
Yeah.
He's not human.
There's that possibility.
But yeah, we like to have some competition sometimes and talk some crap and I think we need more of that. We need to have some of that upbeat, like people talking smack, a little bit of competition going on.
Yeah, we should start right now.
I think so.
Well, the best is okay. So funny story about that. There was one day in particular that James and I were like, we were pretty gabby back and forth, going, just ripping on each other. It was after every attempt. One of us had something to say. But Stephanie was at the gym that day, and she was sitting down by James, and like I couldn't see her face or anything like that. But then like a week or so after that session, my wife and I went over to their house for dinner or something like that, and she goes, "I'm not gonna lie to you." She goes, "I was getting really mad at you for every time you opened your like," but like to James and I, it didn't even occur to us. Like we were just like, "Oh, whatever, bite me."
Yeah,
but
it was
like,
a joke.
but like Stephanie got like really offended at some of the things I was saying to James, and then I felt bad afterwards. Like I was like, maybe I should tone it down a little bit.
If you're not in the environment, you don't know it's a joke.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Sometimes people who train together often they talk a lot of smack to each other, and if you don't know that it's a joke, you could walk up on those conversations and be like, "Wow, everyone's like such a dick here." Like, but yeah, I think it was funny. It was like one of those days. It was like, I remember you said something to Stephanie when she was at the gym one day about, "Oh, how did you have fun at the gym or something?" She was like, because you were talking smack to James, and she was like, "Yeah, I had fun watching James snatch the same as you."
Yeah. she was getting like aggressive, and I was like, and at first I'm like, all right, is she in on this too, or is she being serious? And then like, I don't even think James heard it. And he just like walks away. Like James is just like, whatever. I'm like, just was lifting while this conversation took place. And I was like, all right, I'm going back by my end of the platform. No, I'm out of here.
Yeah, she can be pretty harsh sometimes.
Especially when we lose at Euchre. She was on my team for Euchre. She got really mad because I got called for like this penalty thing, and we lost the game twice because James was like hawking, waiting for me to.
Well, I mean that's because you were cheating. I let you go the first 2 times.
Yeah. I did it like
and
4 times.
Then the third time I was like, nope, I won.
I have no idea what's. Yeah,
Yep.
It was him and. James and Beth were on a team, and then it was Stephanie and I. Stephanie was getting really competitive and really mad that I kept blowing it.
Euchre is not a game you mess around with.
Obviously, I never played before.
You could play euchre,
Yeah.
Matt. We're gonna have to have Matt over and start playing some euchre.
Just to play euchre.
Serious.
If
Yeah.
you like
Euchre.
having your table flipped over in anger, then sure. I'll
Well,
come play euchre.
I'd rather play spade. We need to play some spades, but
Ain't nobody got time for that.
too many cards in the deck for spades. Euchre, you only use half the deck, right?
Yep.
Something like that. So,
9s and up.
yeah.
Well, back to weightlifting. What are you gonna snatch today, Tom?
More than you.
See, there's some guidelines that Tom just
We have
decides
percentages. My percentage is higher than yours.
decides
so I'm
not
gonna
to follow these guidelines. You can't just say more than you. You have to put a number out. Because that's what you're gonna have to have a goal. You have to have a physical goal to go
We
for.
have to do like what 85%. My 85% is 130.
So 130.
Yes.
85%.
Hey, just because hey, I follow the program. You guys want to do extra work and how to
I put that
going
in
above
quotes.
workout for you on Friday. You looked a little tired on Friday, and I beat you. Just saying.
What'd you snatch?
Was he
More
here?
than you.
Oh.
I don't think so.
I did. I snatched 145.
Oh, slacker.
How am I a slacker? I beat you.
Yeah, no, that's not okay.
Well, he
Yes.
slacks when he does more to beat you.
Yeah.
Don't let Stephanie hear this broadcast. She'll be all mad at him.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Yeah.
God, she'll be mad.
Tom's car's going to get
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
feel
Stephanie.
like-
Yeah, when she comes over on Sunday, I'm gonna be like,
Poor
hey, go
Steph.
to give her a hug, and I'm gonna get kneed
No,
in the
just-
ass.
A little shot. You could get attacked like Taylor Swift got attacked.
Oh, so we
That's a whole other
we
thing.
gotta tell the audience about this. There's an awesome YouTube video circulating around. Does anybody know the name of it? So basically,
I think it's Taylor Swift gets attacked.
Taylor Swift
at the
gets
Grammys.
attacked at Grammys.
Taylor Swift gets attacked at the Grammys,
Well,
which
so I don't think that she did the performance though.
Yeah.
Like they didn't air it on TV. I don't think.
I don't even
I don't
know if it
remember.
was at the Grammys. They just had her.
well, they didn't air it on TV because she gets attacked.
Just
A vicious
you
attack.
go on YouTube, look up Taylor Swift gets attacked at the Grammys. It's pretty funny. I'm not a big
Abuse person?
no, I'm all about abuse.
You're a very big Taylor Swift fan.
I am a huge Taylor
Yeah,
Swift fan.
I was.
Until
Don't say that you're not. a
Oh,
Taylor
no,
Swift
God, no.
fan.
No, I love me some T Swizzle. But I was until she went a little crazy with the boys. Like when she went a little like
She wasn't calling them good
You
boys.
mean her whole musical career?
Yeah, I
Pretty much
don't
saying
know.
They were all bad boys.
So you knew her
What you're saying?
before she started singing.
yeah, my girl T Swizzle and I, we go way back. About as far back as me and Britt.
Oh, Brett, yeah.
Who's that?
Britney Spears.
Spears.
Oh.
I knew that.
And Pink.
Hell,
I like me some Pink, too.
Some Pink.
Pink.
By the way, if anybody saw her Grammy performance, holy crap.
No.
That girl's been squatting.
Oh, that girl's...
She squats.
I have it in
Unlike Miley Cyrus, who
I have it
apparently
in my mind that she used to be a gymnast or something.
probably, which wouldn't surprise me.
She looks stacked.
On another note, speaking of Miley Cyrus and not squatting, Robin Thicke may have saved that song Blurred Lines by doing his little spiel with Chicago. Chicago classed the hell out of that song, even though a lot of people don't like that song.
Chicago, let's go back to when I'm from. Class Act.
Back in the Stone Age.
Class Act. Actually had musicians that could play instruments.
Absolutely.
Oh, I thought you guys were talking about the city.
No. Chicago, it's a...
Well,
Actually,
Really?
I know who Chicago is.
Chicago,
but
the band, is
I
named
just,
after the greatest city in the world.
I don't know about all that.
All right.
We've had this
if you want to get
discussion.
shot.
You only get shot on the west side. Listen, you stand.
Stand east side.
They have their sections. You know, east side you're in.
Have some pizza.
There's a map.
Be fine.
Yeah, east side you're in the lake or Indiana, depending on how far south you are, and then south side is nothing but mullets. All right,
Mullets?
North side is all the mullets. That's
Mullets.
south
Okay.
side mullets. The north side is all the pretty boys with their Abercrombie belt buckles, cheering for the Cubs, even though the Cubs suck. And then you got to the west side, and you're gonna get shot out on the west side. Yeah.
So you just described something where I would never want to go there. So I mean, like this
The
doesn't.
food is good though.
The food is good.
Deep dish pizza, you can't beat it.
Oh,
Okay,
my.
I'm sorry. There is no pizza.
What's that festival they have with the restaurants all open?
Oh, Taste of Chicago.
Taste of Chicago.
They closed down.
God.
Oh, they totally just copied Taste of Italy. That's
No.
lame.
No, Taste of Chicago is first.
Taste
because
of Chicago is a little better. I think Taste
so
of
good.
Chicago is pretty damn good.
Yeah, I've gone every year until I moved. Beth and I was actually, that's not true. Every year Beth and I had been dating. She was the first one to take me down. Like I knew about it, but I never went. And it's pretty good. You can get all kinds of stuff. You get a lot of southern, I guess, restaurants, food places up there. That's the first time I had fried alligator was at the Taste of Chicago.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Most big cities. I'm a city person, so I like most big cities. I don't think I would live in New York or Chicago. They're pretty big cities for me, but I do like Atlanta and Charlotte, and
Yeah.
I like
I like going to those cities.
I like
Those
San
cities are fun.
Antonio. My
From
dad
what
lives
I've
there.
been
San
told, I've never been
Antonio's
to New
pretty nice.
York, but I've been told New York is very dirty in comparison to Chicago. Just like the street, the street and the cleanliness and all that stuff. I don't know for sure. I mean, I'm biased. Obviously, Chicago's the greatest city in the world.
I think that
But-
that used to be true. I think New York over the last decade has cleaned up its act a lot.
New York's hosting the Super Bowl.
But
It smells like gasoline on the streets of New York.
there are a lot of people, there are a lot of vehicles, and none of the vehicles go anywhere.
Yeah,
They're
it just
basically idle through
yeah,
Manhattan.
and you could smell it.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't.
It is pretty cool.
But I mean, in
No,
New
in
York's
Chicago, the wind blows all that stuff away.
absolutely. But
so
see,
you don't get
in New
the
York's
same smell.
defense, they've been messed up by both King Kong and Godzilla. I mean,
That's very true.
It's-
It's been a long, hard trail for them. Chicago remains untouched
absolutely.
by the Japanese monsters that are fake
No.
and American monsters.
That's like
that
saying
are
wrestling's
also-
fake, Don.
I know. Yeah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, back to weightlifting.
So we're training for the Arnold. Everybody's going to the Arnold, right?
Yeah.
And
Everybody's going to the Arnold.
yeah, everybody on our team at least.
Yeah, we're bringing people. We're bringing secretaries from upstairs. I don't know. Everybody at Muscle Driver
Oh,
is
sweet.
going to the is going to the Arnold. It's a lot of people going to the Arnold. We're bringing the photographer.
Well, so that,
Not that
I
he's
mean,
gonna take
the
up a lot
Arnold
of
is
room.
always a lot of fun. It's a freak show.
Oh yeah.
You can see everything.
I have a question about the Arnold for you guys. Okay, our good buddy Mike Graber has been posting a lot on Facebook. Apparently, there's another international medalist that is going to the Arnold or something from Poland. What are your guys' thoughts?
Oh,
on,
77.
Is it the 77?
I think so.
Okay, I don't know. He posted some like certificate or something online today. I don't know.
That's somebody else.
I didn't bother reading it. But there's Lydia, there's the 77 from Spain.
Yeah.
There's a Polish 77, and then there's another Polish lifter, and then usually like Fernando Reis, George Koboladze goes there or whatever. What are your thoughts on this whole thing with Lydia? Because I think honestly it is going to be a zoo, no matter where this girl is. I feel bad for this girl. Like, I think she is going to be very uncomfortable throughout the whole weekend.
I don't know.
Maybe, but I don't know. I think there's so many freaks at the Arnold that there are a lot of people that people crowd around.
Yeah.
Lydia will have her Olympic lifting crowd. Obviously she's going to be followed. People know what she looks like and stuff like that, like Klokoff did when he was there years ago. But that's not the big draw. I mean, frankly, you watch the bodybuilders start walking around that thing, and they've got next to nothing on, and they're like 15 shades of brown, and they just they kind of attract attention.
Yeah,
I met Ronnie Coleman at the Arnold once.
Yeah?
He's really short.
Yeah, Ronnie's not too bad.
Jay Cutler's pretty short too.
But they draw a crowd too. But who knows?
I was just curious. Like Matt and I were talking about this on the way home from practice this morning, and I'm not saying it's getting.
Well, Matt's just saying that because he's going to be following her around. Stalking her might be the way to do it.
He already asked. He's like, "Do you know what hotel she's staying at?"
Yeah.
And I
These
said,
are purely for research.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer, but
yeah.
Well, okay, this just turned weird, but I think it's awesome that she's coming.
Oh no, I think it's great
yeah,
that she's going to be there. Like I told Matt, like it's promoting the sport. For her, I wonder if it's going to be uncomfortable / awkward if she herself is expecting to perform well, and any of this is going to take all this fanfare and whatever is going to take away from that. Like I don't know.
Well, if you think about it, the Arnold for her, not for us, is actually a Pan Am qualifier for us. But for her, it's just like a local meet.
Yeah, it's nothing.
And so it doesn't really matter.
And the fact that some of
she's
these people like her have big crowds
she's
in
there
Europe
to
that know her on the street.
To experience having people, be around her and all that kind of thing. Because truthfully, I mean, weightlifting's more popular in a lot of other places, but it's definitely not. She's probably still not that notable of an athlete over there.
Yeah, and like when we were in Poland, there was pictures of the Polish weightlifting team, like individuals, on like the actual trolleys in the city.
Yeah.
So like big pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, if you saw them walking down the street, everyone, regardless if they were a weightlifter, they'd probably know who they are.
Oh, I'm not doubting that. I was just curious what you guys thought. That was my first thought. Like the more I keep seeing, because obviously with today with social media and all that nonsense, something gets posted and then it gets shared like 20 times, and I just with the
and people talk about it on podcasts.
Yeah,
that's followed by millions.
Podcast.
I think it would be a lot of fun, but the only thing that does kind of suck about it is I think it would be cool for James to be able to be in the same session as those 77s that are coming down.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the 85s, I would like to compete against those guys. I don't know if there are any 85s coming down from I'm sure there are a couple.
Yeah.
I just don't know who they are. And then, you guys. So it would be cool to have the separate weight classes, but I guess the way it is they can only afford so much of the drug testing. So the Pan Am session has to be drug tested, obviously, because you can't make an international team without being drug tested, or at least in a tested session where a certain number of athletes have to get tested. So.
Yeah, and this, the Arnold has been the place that's been the first place in a long time, first meet in a long time that, international stars, if you will, have been asked to come over and basically perform. And that was a big jolt when the Arnold came along and started to have different things than the normal USA weightlifting meets had, like having guys just play music when they came on stage and things like this. And
I didn't realize you could do that. Sean said that that's an option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have introduction music.
You
can have music playing all through your weightlifting.
I'm sending Walking on Sunshine.
Yeah, you bring in your own CD and they'll play it. Yeah, they love that stuff. But, just different things. And they opened up the sport to be a little more relaxed, and certainly introduced it to an awful lot of people over the first few years that the Arnold had USA weightlifting in it.
Well, I think we have a great spot in the venue too.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty cool. Like, it draws a huge crowd. It's one of the bigger one of the more crowded meets of the year. So a lot of people get exposed to weightlifting. Some people like it, some people don't. But that's kind of what you're going to get.
Well, usually too. I mean, outside of the big events like the finals for the bodybuilding or the Strongman Classic. when like the bigger sessions are lifting, like this international session or the Pan Am session are going on, there's really not a whole heck of a lot else going on in the venue. So, I noticed last year. Last year was the first time I noticed it because the year before, the first time I went to the Arnold, it was nationals. But those last two sessions of the night, there were a lot of people in that venue because most of the other stuff was closed down already, and people just wanted to hang out and watch. So I think that's pretty cool. Like, it exposes it to people that otherwise wouldn't see a weightlifting meet.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I'm just excited to get to lift later in the day. Past 4 or 5 meets I've been lifting at 9, 10 in the morning or something like that, or at least weighing in at that time. So it's nice to lift at a normal time in the day.
Yeah, I don't see how those 48 women do it, and then the lightweight men have to usually lift first thing in the morning. Yep.
Yeah. That's tough. That's even tough to coach, and never mind lift. I don't know how lifters do it. I always hate that. But they do well. They train themselves to do it, and that's what they've got. Those little 48s and 56 people, they're perky in the morning.
They're weird.
A little too awake for me.
I don't know if Morgan is perky in the morning.
Well, perky might not be the right word.
She wants like yoga and stretch and stuff at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
You know what? I think you guys might be getting her confused with someone else.
The different Morgan.
Yeah, I think she wakes up at like 10:30 and then comes to practice.
That's Dean's influence, I think.
A little later.
So what are we doing in training, Don?
We're into about the final stretch here at training. We're going to change over from doing, obviously, a little more volume. We've increased the intensity somewhat, but we're still doing a lot of work other than that.
I'm always intense.
What we're going to do is trim down the excess and get to the meat of it, really, over the next 3 weeks. Going to be seeing a lot more lifts, a lot higher intensity. There won't nearly be the volume of training that we've had. And we hope that we will peak everybody up for the Arnold. That's what we're going to try to do. And we're going to take care of whatever we can do. We'll take care of little technical things that might be a little off and try to get some time to work on them, too.
So in your programming, can you make sure that I am always lifting 1 more kilo than Tom?
I can.
God, James, would you let it go?
For a price, I can do that.
It's not going to happen. You know why? Because I can go eat a package of Oreos whenever I want. You can't.
Ow.
I could if I wanted to.
If you wanted to lift as an 85.
No, if I eat bad, I lose weight.
You're a liar.
That's how it works.
It's not how it works.
It is.
Oh, you just got challenged. She said, prove it.
Okay.
Yeah, James is going to be...
I'll prove it after the Arnold.
After the Arnold, he'll prove it.
I'm going to buff up to a super.
That's it. No.
Yeah.
That would be bad. That would be bad all for everybody.
Look like one of the guys from Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, seriously.
Little pot.
Yeah.
A little bit much on the lower end there.
Yeah, except I'm not even going to do the Oreos. I'm just going to go and I'm going to get like the local grocery store brand of Oreos.
The market brand.
So they have worse ingredients.
Mega stuff.
It's just buy 2 packs, and I ate 2 packs.
But they don't have the birthday cake stuff either.
Oh, birthday cake tastes nasty.
Yeah, no,
ain't nobody got time for that.
I'll be honest. If they mix the birthday cake with the mega stuff, then we'd be cooking on the front burner. But the birthday cake by themselves.
You hear that, Oreos?
You notice how the weightlifting didn't take a lot of time there?
Oreo company, Nabisco. I'm open to being your spokesperson, Nabisco. If you're listening, give me some Oreos. Lots of them.
Your nickname could be Mega Stuff. Tom Mega Stuff Sroka. I don't know. I think it's named after a cookie.
I don't have anything to say to
popular
that.
Cookie.
What is that? You're saying he has extra filling?
I don't even know where I'm going with that.
I got another tight singlet like we did before the American Open where I couldn't get my calf in there.
Yeah, it's bad when you can't put the singlet over your calf.
Those wrestling singlets were interesting. But...
Mandy hands me the singlet. She goes, "You think this will fit?" And I go, "No." She goes, "Try it anyways." Couldn't even get the leg over my calf. I'm like, "Mandy, this is not happening." She's like, "Are you sure?" I'm positive.
So it snowed in Charlotte, which is kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
it snowed in a lot of places that haven't had snow. Mississippi got a lot of snow.
There was
my buddy in Louisiana said they got snow.
Is that right?
Yeah.
On the way to training,
They're dead.
There was you saw 3 or 4 spin outs.
I witnessed one happening at that as I was coming here, and then there were the 2 that were already there. The one dude is just sitting in a bunch of bushes. If those bushes wouldn't have been there, he would have flipped his car. And then there was another one on the side of the road. And then I watched this other dude. It was like literally something off of America's Funniest Home Videos. Like I'm coming, towards him, and he took the corner too sharp right in front of these softball fields, spun out onto the dirt, kept hitting the accelerator, and so like his tires are just spinning, throwing mud everywhere. He spun out in the grass, started going the other direction, and then spun out again right in front of the ditch and almost flipped the car.
That's a lot of spinning.
Yeah, he spun out like 2 or 3 times. But the whole time, the thing that made it funny was he had his foot on the gas pedal the entire time. There was no brakes applied ever.
Just total panic.
Yeah, just kept
total panic.
Just thought like more gas meant eventually it was going to work out for the guy.
So for all these Northerners that we have in the room right now, we got, what's some of the basics? How do you drive in the snow?
Slow.
Well, I remember Matt telling me, Matt's a Northerner, he drives up there in the cold, this morning that he was driving faster than everyone, and he was annoyed that everyone was going so slow.
Well, okay, let me rephrase that. You have 2 types of Northerner, okay? You have the common sense Northerner, and then you have the cocky Northerner that are like, watch this shit, and then they like go and try to do it better. There are the 2 types. Matt is of the cocky variety. And he almost got pulled over. If the cop wouldn't have spun out trying to chase him, he told me this morning he almost got pulled over.
Well, so that means he won. But, yeah.
One more than the cop.
I'm more safe than everybody on the road.
So if you're in the ice, it's not the time to be in a hurry.
No.
But and then 2, a lot of people don't know. I mean, you just if you're in a lot of snow, you just shift down to first gear.
Yeah, you downshift.
Get yourself going.
Into either
I would say
first gear if you've got a
everybody-
stick, or low if you've got an automatic.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
of everybody on the team, Matt is probably in the best situation for snow because he drives a manual.
Yeah.
Everybody else is an automatic, and sometimes you forget.
People
that you
don't
can-
even know
Yeah.
how good manuals are. In snow
Some
and
people
things.
you forget sometimes that you can shift it down into a gear. Like I forget all the time until after that, and I'm like, oh, I could have put it in second.
And the other
But,
thing, the other thing in snow and ice too, when you're driving, is it sort of goes against your instinct. But if you start to slide, you've got to take your foot off the gas. And that's what happened to that guy.
that was so funny
They
to
panic
watch.
and they put their feet down when they start to slide.
Yeah.
And they just
You
panic
take
away.
it. You take it off
it
the gas,
off.
and you don't hit the brakes.
No, and you don't hit the
Yeah.
brakes.
Because in driver's ed, they tell you like when you start to swerve, turn into the swerve.
Turn into the
Because
swerve,
people,
yeah.
that's when people start spinning out. Is because they're trying to turn away from the
Yeah.
direction that they're spinning, and then that's when the back end usually goes out on the vehicle, and they start spinning all over the place.
So what if you're in first gear? Do you just get better traction or what? I mean, why?
It doesn't let you go past like each gear in a car. Like it doesn't let you go past a certain speed. Like the engine will just keep revving.
Right, but even if you're at a stop and you have it in drive versus first gear, getting out of your driveway in the morning, being in first gear, sometimes you'll spin and drive, but you can get out in first gear. Why do you get better traction in first gear? I don't know. Does anybody know?
It's just a slower turn.
Yeah.
It's like bigger gears on a bicycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just not.
It's
It's just
you know,
not,
that's a
the
loose
tires
analogy.
don't.
That's
have,
as loose analogy as I can get.
Yeah, the tires
but that's
just,
about what it
they're
is.
not like constantly like whipping around. Like it's a slow turn.
The
It kinda gets you
RPMs go
out of
down in the
Okay.
engine. There's an RPM range generally, so they go down and everything just hunkers down.
One
so
thing
to
too
speak.
is like, I mean, obviously in the north it snows a lot, so they have snow plows and they salt the
Yes.
roads. They only salted about 3 roads here in Charlotte.
Well, as Don pointed out, that they also forget that no matter like how much salt you throw down, if it gets covered up by the snow, it defeats the purpose. Like there are some areas where they got a little more snow than others.
You got to know when to salt
You're
and,
just
and how
making-
much to
yeah,
salt
you're
and
just
all that
making
other
ice
stuff.
now.
And plus, I mean, nothing. I mean, the problem is in a city like this, in Atlanta and places like that, they just don't have enough plows.
No.
I mean, they just don't.
Well, we don't have
enough of
any
the
in
roads.
Atlanta
I mean,
right now. I think like
Yeah.
the whole city's shut down because it's icy enough where,
Well, look at Dallas when we were there for the American Open.
yeah.
I mean,
that was
they got
unbelievable.
everything iced over. There was no real snow,
Mm-hmm.
but like I asked somebody that was from the area, and they're like, "We don't have a single plow. Like they don't
Yeah.
have them."
I mean, it costs government dollars to do that. So
Well, absolutely.
Most of the time, especially in a state like Texas, they try to spend less money, so they're not going to spend money on plows. And then occasionally you get caught with your pants down, but
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with that. No, you're just not going to do that.
All right, you're banned.
So Matt missed a lift once, and then he looks at the weight and he goes, "Thanks, Obama." So I think he just uses
He just
that
uses
excuse.
that all the time?
Just somebody to
Anything
blame.
goes wrong?
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
he just says, "Yo."
I don't know. Yeah, he says, "Yo."
No, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't know.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, thanks, Obama, for Matt saying thanks, Obama.
Jeez.
Anyway,
So weightlifting.
so we're what, 4 weeks out?
4
Something
weeks
like
out
that.
from the Arnold. Do you guys have any questions that we can answer?
Somebody did tweet me a question earlier today, and I want James to answer it because I think he'd answer it better than I would. When I first started the Strength Agenda, the first person I interviewed for anything was the James Tatum before the beard got famous. Okay,
Buddy.
and
When he talked to the rest
when
of
he
us?
talked to us, when he didn't think he was better than everybody else.
Okay, yeah.
No,
I remember him.
And
Nice kid.
and so we talked about gluten-free eating and how it relates to training and all that. And somebody tweeted me this morning and said, that they think they're intolerant. Well, first off, you either are or you aren't. The doctor can do an easy, allergy test and tell you whether you are or not. But he wanted to know how I don't know if you still stay consistent with it. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't I'm on Oreos right now. Oreos have gluten in them. Sorry. But, he wanted to know, James, more so if you stick consistent with it and how do you maintain it through, volume, like more volume phases, all the different phases pretty much. He just wanted to know how you maintain it through the different phases of training. And I thought you could answer it better because you actually, you watch what you eat a little more than I do. So I wanted to hear what you had to say.
I think you see everything you eat.
I see it. I just don't.
Then it disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would say just go off of feel. And if you can't do that, then just cut it out.
Well, I think it's more he wants to know, like, in terms of the cat, like, because I'll be honest with you, I just sometimes just indulge. I'll go to Waffle House, I'll go get a pie, I'll go get some Oreos when I need some
This
extra
is not a
calories.
surprise, Tom.
I'm not, shut up, Don.
Oh, okay.
I think he more so wants to know, what do you do to supplement, like, calories? Like, I know you've talked to me about it a little bit, but I
mean, you can get plenty of calories eating gluten-free. There's different types of flour. I mean,
well, that's,
Yeah.
I just want to hear what you guys have to say.
You can get carbs from rice and potatoes and sweet potatoes, and there's plenty of different sources for carbohydrates besides carbohydrates that have gluten in them. And
Sweet potato fries.
Yeah, and now, I mean, I haven't followed gluten-free. I do now, more or less. I stay pretty gluten-free, but I hadn't followed that diet. But I've got a nephew that's autistic, and years ago, that was a prescribed diet for any kid that had autism. Yeah. And that's it's a very obvious change in behavior in those kids. And he's continued to be on a gluten-free diet. And now there are so many foods that are gluten-free available out there that you're
Girl Scout cookies have a gluten-free.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got a gluten-free version.
you
So
know,
it's not hard to eat plenty of calories, really.
I more so was just curious, like, do you increase, like, your fat intake to supplement the energy? Like,
so
that's more what I'm trying to get at. Like, do you increase something or do you just eat more of the that's what I'm trying to figure out.
So I got two things to say here. So one thing, gluten-free stuff is not always better.
No.
I mean,
No.
Like, I don't really recommend, like, if you're going gluten-free and then just going out and getting, like, the gluten-free Girl Scout cookies.
You don't?
What the hell?
I'll stop that then.
Well, I mean, like, you can buy them and then just, like, throw them away or something. But
Why on earth would you throw away cookies?
Or send them to Tom.
well, I mean, just like Oreos, the gluten is not the bad part of an Oreo.
The sugar.
I mean, there's not even the sugar. I mean, they just like tons of trans fats all up in
Yeah.
that Oreo stuffing.
They're all up in it.
all up in it.
All up in it.
Yeah, I mean, there's more than just gluten and sugar wrong with Oreos.
No,
That's true.
But it's the same thing with all these other like gluten-free products that you can go get. You can get it gluten-free.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it's good for you.
But there are gluten-free breads now and things like that.
It's
that
made
just
with, like,
make
almond flour.
That make it a little easier
Yeah.
for somebody to eat kind of normal
My
calorie
point
intake.
is, there's no reason why eating gluten-free means that you couldn't get enough calories.
Oh, no.
I mean, there's definitely
Yeah.
ways to get calories, but yes, it doesn't mean that it's better for you.
So my second part,
Yeah, that's
where I get my other calories, I put a lot of heavy cream in my coffee.
Yeah, you do.
And you get a lot of calories like that. I mean,
That's one thing I picked up from you that has helped out a lot.
yeah.
And just
like,
getting more calories in general.
yeah.
Well,
the
the
thing
thing-
you
the
got to be careful with that, though, is you start drinking a lot of heavy cream and a high-fat diet. You don't necessarily want to have, like, tons of sugar because then you die. If you have a high-fat, high-carb diet, you're just going to die. It's pretty much science.
It's pretty much simple as that.
Well, in reality, like, that's just, you can really do one or the other, especially if you have any issues with, like, heart health in your family. Like, you just have to pick one or the other. If you have high fat, it has to be low carb. If you do a high carb diet, you kind of want to not go crazy with the fat.
Now specify though, because you're probably going to scare the crap out of like a lot of people who would say
I just
that.
told people that they're going to die.
Yeah. You're giving out medical advice. They're going to
there are
come.
people
the
running
corners
to
are
the
gonna be,
phones
no.
right now.
What
Yeah.
do you constitute a high fat diet? Like for me, for instance, I don't consider what I do high fat. I put cream in my coffee. Sometimes I'll put coconut oil in my coffee, and then I have like an avocado at lunch. That is not high fat in particular. But what do you consider like high fat?
I mean, I guess it's about ratios. Just, I don't know. What's the recommended daily value is like 30 grams of fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they talk around 10% usually, don't they? 10
Yeah.
to 15% now.
Yeah, so
in
I-
fat.
Well, I know
think
what like the
I would
recommendation.
say-
I'm just
Yeah.
curious what
Yeah.
James's thought is.
30% of your calories through
Being that
fat,
you're
probably.
killing people now.
Yeah, this is not medical advice, by the way.
No.
Yeah, so that's just really what I do. I mean, I actually probably have a little bit too many carbs, which I'm cutting out now so I can make weight for the Arnold easier.
And the carbs are sometimes important.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
you do have
absolutely.
to have that energy to train. You do have to have that energy to be awake.
I'm
Yeah.
personally a big fan of rice.
So you know what I've been doing?
What have you been doing?
So I got this mandolin, which is awesome, by the way, and I've been cutting up sweet potatoes.
It's a pretty obscure word. So specify.
Isn't it like a guitar?
Yeah, mandolin.
No, it's a little thing that cuts up fruit and vegetables.
It's a guitar too, though, isn't it?
Yeah, like the jazz guitar.
As soon as he said mandolin, I'm just sitting here
thought he had
picturing
taken
him
up
like in the
an
kitchen with a,
instrument from-
No,
with a
no,
guitar.
but
I'm like,
Travis has picked up the guitar. He's pretty good at it now. He's been playing Rocksmith.
I heard that.
But anyway, you're cutting up
Okay.
your vegetables.
So,
Let's not go too far.
and
afield.
then you just bake them in some like sunflower oil or something, and like
olive oil.
no, olive oils. You don't want to get that hot. You need some high heat oil. You remember we were talking about
Walnut
trans
oil.
fat? You heat up olive oil. It's made for low heat, meaning like dipping, like putting it on salads, dipping.
I stopped listening when you started using big words.
Yeah, so don't use olive oil to cook. That's bad. Yeah, use something like high heat sunflower oil or highly refined coconut oil or something.
That's what I use.
Yeah.
Usually when I'm cooking. Like
So we're getting all kinds of fat knowledge bombs here. What kind of oils are low heat?
Olive oil, you don't want to heat up. What are some other ones?
Well, I mean,
Canola. What's canola? Is canola okay?
Canola oil, I think,
to
is just
cook with?
That's just
rancid grapeseed oil. That's
Yeah.
really all
That's what
canola
that
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, canola oil is bad. I would never.
I don't even,
Anything that's rancid just sounds bad. Anyway.
Yeah.
But you definitely could cook something in high heat in canola oil. It doesn't mean that that's the
No, I
best
don't think
choice.
does
Yeah,
anybody
but-
remember when Donnie used to talk about drinking canola oil with his protein shakes?
That's it's probably not good.
No.
Yeah, he was trying to see how heavy.
Don't
he
do
could
that.
get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
well, it was
make a
it was
statement
right
on
when
don't
he's-
do
I
that.
think it was right
Don't
when
do
he
that
started
at
training
home.
with Ivajev. He said he started doing that. He put it in it. I tried it once. I threw up all over the place. Like
Oh,
to make it
of
even
course you
worse, I was
did.
on my way to a baseball game when that happened. I'm driving. I'm in the passenger side. I'm like, Beth, you need to pull over right now. Because I don't know if you've ever had you know what I'm saying. It's one of those things when you drink certain concoctions, like it's coming back.
Yeah.
And if you don't do something about it at that minute, I mean, it is gonna make a mess everywhere.
Can we make it? I think I can. I know. I feel a lot healthier, a lot better when I stay clear of gluten. I don't think there should be like gluten-free diet. Sounds like that's something that very weird or very kind of vegan or something like that. I think gluten-free diet's the way most people should just eat.
Well, we got about
and then
5.
manage their fats and proteins and carbs.
We got about 5 more minutes before we got to get to training. So yeah, I guess getting back to I mean, sure. If you want to go gluten free, I think it can help you with inflammation and whatnot. But if you want, you have two choices based on what James said. to answer the question in full quickly. You can either substitute your carbs by doing sweet potatoes, rice, potatoes, what else? I mean, there's a lot of things that are gluten-free, but I would stick closely with oatmeal and sweet. Is oatmeal gluten-free?
You can get gluten-free oatmeal.
okay.
Some of it's like processed in the
oatmeal.
same facility or
Like
something.
the rolls.
Yeah.
Not
So there's different
roll those or
ways
something
to
like that.
change your carbohydrate intake to make sure that it's gluten-free, namely rice, sweet potatoes, and gluten-free oatmeal. I think those are your best 3 choices. If you want to substitute fat and change your macros a little bit, you can increase the fat and keep your carbs a little lower, but don't do both at the same time is the main takeaway, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Make it
Right.
easy on yourself. Make a large quantity of the stuff, like at the beginning of the week, and then put it in like a a glass container or something like that, or like a pot. Like Beth will make like a thing of mashed potatoes and a thing of rice, and she'll throw it in the fridge. And then throughout the week, if I'm hungry, so I don't have to keep making, because I get lazy, and that's when I start going to the store for stuff.
Oreos.
Yeah. And but
Waffle
but
House.
yeah, Waffle House. The Waffle House ladies know me by name, by the way. They
Shock.
really
Shock.
get worried when I come in like after 2 weeks and not be in there. They're like, "Where you been?" I'm, all right. Anyways, but make like big quantities of it so that when you have it there,
They think you died.
they really do.
Yeah, so toy around with your macros, see how many carbs that works for you. You can still stay gluten-free with keeping enough carbs in your
Matt.
diet.
One thing to say to you.
A carb has not seen
Next
Matt's
time,
mouth
don't say
since
so much, will you, please?
1994.
Matt's kind of loud. for
Yeah,
this
no,
whole
he,
thing, wasn't
he
he?
talks too
yeah.
much. Attention hog. Well, another topic on that, just real quick, is also it's about moderation. If you think about it, if you eat bread every meal, you're probably going to be a little sensitive to it because you have it so much. So just, I don't know, tone it down. You probably see a difference with that too.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think that I became intolerant to gluten at a certain time, and then I didn't have it for about a year, and then now my body doesn't really react poorly to it in moderation. So, anyways, I don't know why that is, but definitely there was a period of time where it would have me throwing up if I ate a certain amount of it. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, kind of a silly episode. We answered a couple questions, talked a little bit about weightlifting. You guys got anything to end on?
I got nothing.
Matt needs to go do some crunches. He's got to get those striations going with his abdominals, get the pump.
Wow.
In all seriousness, though, anything with the strength agenda?
No.
Well, you
No,
nothing.
we're overhauling the site right now. We have
Okay.
our Bluehost subscription is being adjusted, whatnot. So we're changing some things. There'll be some new tabs and cool.
Getting a little bigger.
Thing-
Broadband.
Oh, we're getting
wide,
huge,
bigger,
worldwide,
Huge.
millions of dollars,
Millions of dollars
Millions.
coming
millions of dollars. Like
Amazing.
primetime players.
well, you
John
guys,
Cena lost the WWE.
if somebody
Championship.
wants the practical eating ebook, just email you right now because the site's down. Or
No. The site's still up and running. We're
Okay.
working on that's the cool thing about the Bluehost. You can still make adjustments as it's up.
Yeah.
So it's still running normally, but we're adding some stuff to it, and that'll be up hopefully in a month or so.
okay, and you guys just had an interview with Greg Knuckles, which is one of Travis Mash's powerlifters. Is that correct?
Yes.
So
Thank
check
you
that
for
out.
pointing that out. He's a strong dude. It's a very interesting interview, and I'm trying to think what else. We did something.
Always new recipes. I cooked the eggs and the cupcake.
Yes.
Well, those are pretty good, but
We're gonna start reposting some of these because people don't
Yeah.
know. Like the jambalaya, every time Beth makes it, I go nuts. She makes it for a weekend, and I eat it all throughout the weekend. The jambalaya recipe, so it's actually Donnie's jambalaya recipe. It's really good though.
and all those recipes are gluten free, and you get plenty of calories through most of those recipes.
yeah,
so.
you do.
Absolutely.
Anyways, Matt, you got anything?
Matt, what you got?
Nothing much. Just thanks for having me on here. No.
Next time we'll let you talk.
No, yeah.
Don't you have a site?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just started my own little website, just kind of similar thing as the strength agenda, just reading up on.
What's the name?
Tom is impatient. It's like a
It's
Didn't we talk about patience before, Tom?
I'm not lifting.
Oh,
He's got Oreos out there.
Oh.
okay. The site is called sasstrengthandconditioning.com.
sass.
Yes, SAS.
This is all sass all the time.
Get sassy.
Yeah, that's my website. Just simple stuff. I'm starting up my own little kind of just simple basics to weightlifting clinic. Just the things that help me get started and the things that Don's trying to teach us all to make me not bad.
Don's got trademarks on this.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. Not somebody else
All right,
using
James.
Catapult, is there?
No, it's
okay.
it's not
There's
Catapult.
a lot of people using that now.
JamesTatumUSA.com.
There you go.
I'm trying to sound like Clint Darden in the House of Biceps. I need to come up with my own. I'll work on it.
Beards.
Travis, when are you going to start performing with the guitar?
I think I'm far away from that.
Well, let's
The Arnold?
I think we
next-
should have at least an
next-
intro for this
The
podcast
next
with you
team
playing the
bonfire
guitar.
between you, Sean, and Trevor.
I bought a fire pit. We're going to have fires at my
Fires
house.
at James' house.
I love building
Oh.
fires.
No
Yes.
Tommy Burn stuff.
yeah, I heard
This could
Trevor
be a
and Sean
whole
are pretty
news.
good at guitar, so
Sean plays left-handed though, so he doesn't
Yeah.
have a guitar. But Trevor, I've heard Trevor play. He's pretty good, and we all know I can sing. So I mean, we should.
Wow.
Just get
can
a-
you really?
Hit
I
the-
mean,
hit the
honestly,
crowd,
can
Tom,
you go
hit the
to?
crowd.
No,
Wow.
not, no.
Can you sing karaoke?
Oh, I can do some karaoke.
All right, cool. We'll do some karaoke here soon.
Wow.
Anyways, guys, we got to go train. We got to lift some weights.
Let's talk some.
Everybody
So,
be good boys and girls.
Tweet
out
us at
good
W
boys,
Lifting
be good
Scoop.
boys.
Tweet us at W Lifting Scoop. Check out the website, theweightliftingscoop.com, and send us your questions and inquiries for
I'll
seminars
still be warmed up
and
before Dean's ready.
and programming. Thanks, guys.